Hi, and welcome to The Sound of Self, the podcast that's all about empowering women in their 30s to make mindful shifts, find their purpose, and step into their power.
This podcast is not just about discussions, it's a movement. We're here to break through the barriers that hold women back from freely expressing themselves. The world needs your unique voice, and we're here to help you find it.
So thank you for joining Jess and Erin on The Sound of Self. Let's unlock the power within and create a life that resonates with the true essence of you.
Hey peeps! Welcome to today's episode on the failure fallacy. So what the hell is that? It's a concept that we created to capture the common beliefs that we might have that equate failure with our worth. What that leads to is behaviors such as avoidance or perfectionism, which are attempts to avoid the uncomfortable emotions and experiences that come up when we might be facing a potential failure.
E.g., I'm not going to try dance lessons, I'll look stupid.
Or I can't try that course because I'll be, too dumb.
Oh, I could never sing.
I could never dance.
Embarrassment central. We hate that, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah. So what we were saying was we're so caught up in perfectionism. We're so caught up in actually getting the outcome straight away as we go through this world of instant gratification. We miss the whole point. The creative juiciness is in the failure. So those ideas come out when you make a mistake. You need to make yourself embrace that, because that's where you could have new ideas or new concepts, and it's messy and it's not easy, and most of us do struggle to do that, unlike me, who's been doing this for 10 years, so it's much easier. But I wasn't always like that. I'm gonna just do a little example here. So as far as a career goal for me, when I first started out as a musician, I thought that I was basically, a professional, successful musician if I had a song be featured on Triple J. And my music at that time wasn't really suited for Triple J, but I thought that was basically the level I had to be at. And I felt like I had failed if I didn't get that song out. And I'd write songs specifically for the radio to get on Triple J, which then took away my own authenticity through the music, and then it didn't become fun anymore. It just became based on this outcome, which was very unachievable if you think about it. It was very non-linear. Like, you can't really guess if a piece of art's going to become successful or not. It sort of just is because you get lucky or it happened to be the right time. And I found throughout my career, every time I do release a song and I don't really attach myself to the outcome, it goes way better than I could have imagined. Such as my songs being played on ABC radio instead of Triple J because it was more suited to that audience, or it being played on international radio when I didn't even aim for that. It just happened to be there because someone saw it online, through Spotify or some other online platforms, and then it was always a song which I never thought would be successful. So the minute I took away that, the minute I started becoming happier because I was having more fun with my music, and that's how I've managed to be a musician for so long. Because if I just focused on that one outcome and I never got it, I would have given up way earlier.
Exactly, and that is exactly what, in terms of perfectionism, a lot of people think, well, I'm not after perfect results, I'm just after XYZ. So for you, it was, it doesn't need to be perfect necessarily, but I need to get to Triple J, for example.
Or I just need to actually finish the song being good enough rather than perfect. And I could have sat on those songs for years, but then I got really fast at it because I got quicker at writing songs and I stopped caring about them being the perfect chorus or the perfect, Triple J friendly verse.
Yeah. And so with perfectionism, it's not just about getting the perfect result, even though that's what it implies in the name. It's about unrelenting standards and being really fixated on what these standards might be and getting fixated on a specific outcome. And as Erin was talking about in her example, that was about that Triple J thing. And when we are able to kind of let go a little bit and loosen up a little bit, we can build this closer relationship with ourselves. We can feel more free, more liberated, more relaxed. Yeah, more authentic, more aligned. With mine, it wasn't really as big as something like radio play. In mine, where mine really affected me, in uni, I felt like if I didn't get 7s, this is how, laughing at it now, it seems really small, but at that time, it was so important to me. If I didn't get 7s, I'd failed.
Yeah.
It was so silly in hindsight, and I stressed and I had so much anxiety, but this is the degree, both degrees that I really fought to get. I am now doing what I love because of them. I wanted to be there. I wanted to learn. But the focus on those outcomes, that attachment to the outcome, was really robbing me of really making the most of all of that learning, and it wasn't joyful at all. I hated it. So, it robs you of that joy in the process.
Perfectionism robs you of joy, but the actual word failure, I think sometimes if we embrace it, if we make a mistake, it can actually become fun.
Yes.
So that would be why it's sort of a fallacy. Because you don't really fail. I mean, yes, you do, I suppose, if it's as far as a mathematical equation that has to be wrong or right. But when we're talking about creativity, you don't really fail.
Yeah.
You just come at it from a different angle, or maybe a part of you that you weren't controlling, you know?
Yeah, and your results are not about you. If you perhaps don't get the outcome specifically that you're after, one, that's not necessarily a failure, but we often perceive it that way. And even then, we're making it about us, like, oh, I'm not good enough because I didn't get this result. Until I get this other result, then I'm not going to be okay, for example.
But then what happens if you actually get that result? It's just going to create another step. You're going, okay, well, I got that now, and then I have to have something else.
Yeah.
You'll just go from one to the other. It becomes an endless cycle. And I had that so many times in my music as well, where, you know, sometimes I actually did get what I wanted. I'd have, you know, a music video come out exactly the way I wanted it, but then I'd finish the music video and be so caught up in every single little detail of it, I couldn't actually enjoy it at the end. I would just be analytical of maybe a couple of things that went wrong, or, you know, I'd failed in one section and, you know, it didn't have enough views. There was always something wrong with it. It didn't have the right lighting. It wasn't like there was a piece of tape on the ground that I could see in the music video that they didn't edit out, and, you know.
Again, those unrelenting standards, that fixation on it needs to be this way, otherwise I can't be satisfied. So the keys here are, one, to have awareness, catch yourself when you're getting fixated, number one. 2 is remind yourself, my results are not my worth.
Exactly.
You are worthy regardless of the outcome of whatever it is that you create or produce. You are you, and this is just an expression in the moment. That's going to change all the time, but it's not you.
And progress is progress. Whether it's failure or not, you're still progressing because you learnt from it. You experienced something.
Yes.
And that's really all we are here to do at the end of the day. When, you know, the lights go out, what are we going to be? Are we going to be the items we own, the money in the bank? We're really just our experiences. So if you resonated with this episode today, we would love to hear some experiences you've had that maybe you failed and you learnt from it, or some happy outcomes that came from your own failure fallacy. Thanks for joining us on Sound of Self. We hope you've connected with today's content.
If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our podcast and leave us a review. Stay tuned for more empowering conversations and practical tips in our upcoming episodes.